Give me my Red Bull stuff over there.
Don't if you drink a Red Bull, you're gonna be
bouncing off the walls. You're gonna go to body with one jump.
Michael, give me a little water.
We got cold in the fridge.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's fine.
Athletes, they don't drink cold water.
You want water?
No, I'm good.
Here we go. Peter's ready. He has everything lined up. Microsoft Word.
I'm ready too.
Let's go, boys.
Messa fuori c'è Pirlo, ancora Pirlo di tacco,
The referee should never have given the second, the straight red. Roma is missing the wing that they had last year.
Well,
Salah. If you don't beat Crotone like this, it's mental. I don't know who he is.
He looks like Nangolan.
Oh my
He does not look like Nangolan. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Serie A audio experience with IFTV. We've had a lot of drama.
A lot.
There's some smiling faces in the room and some not so smiling faces right now. My dad, Gaetano, is in Aruba, and it kind of worked out good because Peter came on and he's able to tell his side, obviously, as an Inter fan.
I mean, it's not my side. It's the side
of justice, right?
You know,
the truth.
As a referee, you have to
We're jumping right into
go by the
this,
letter
huh?
of the law. But we'll
Especially with the VAR.
I
right,
agree.
Peter? Yeah.
It doesn't. You don't have to be your team too
Yeah.
to also
No,
to be
no,
able
no.
to
You have
to
to-
say.
Guys, for a second, look at this amazing free content we're giving out. Just subscribe, like, and tell your friends. That's all we ask for. And
Rate the podcast.
of course.
Guys,
We're
say
saying
the
it right away.
podcast, okay?
Listen, you can
Let's
watch.
start. This is going to be the start, guys. This is for real. This is what everybody talks in the morning when they go to work. The Monday morning, this is what the people are getting upset about it. This is what our life is all about it.
This is
In
the
Italy-
American dream.
In Italy, we live for this. And I guess I hope in the rest of the world we live for this one here. So we don't care about, debts or stock markets or just we care about soccer. End of the story.
That's it. Yeah. So rate the podcast. Available on video form, YouTube, and Facebook, and then you could also listen to the audio form. Everything's in the description. But let's get straight into this one. We gotta talk about the elephant in the room right now.
Oh, man.
Inter against Juventus, one of the craziest matches of the season, plagued with a lot of controversy. I went from it's amazing to me where I was thinking at the 85th minute yesterday, I was thinking, Jesus Christ, we're really gonna throw everything away. And now today, after all of the games, it's almost a better position than I could have imagined beforehand. So, okay, who's starting this one? What do you guys think about Inter against Juventus?
I gotta tell you something. Let me just say something about the game. I think Inter played a great game
Fantastic.
for almost 90 minutes because they were playing 10 against 11. Icardi scored a spectacular goal against Buffon. I mean, Buffon is not what he used to be, but he could have probably saved the goal if
that
he
was
was
a
a
tough
little.
one.
Okay.
But nevertheless, the key of the game was for me when Dybala came inside. The two goals that Juventus scored, Dybala comes in, touches the ball deep into Quadrato. Quadrato takes the ball down the line, puts the ball in the middle. Skriniar touches, unlucky, but in soccer you need some luck too. And that was the 2-2 for Juventus. And again, Inter again got too complacent. They thought that they won the game, including Spalletti, because I saw his body language. Spalletti was just walking on the sideline like, hey, we got those guys on 10 people. He was just getting so exciting about the press conference that Juventus punished this 1-2. Spalletti is the guy that I can't stand because he never smiles, but under his little mustache that doesn't have it, he smiles once in a while, and he thought he had the game. But you know what? Juventus, you can never relax against those guys. And sure enough, Dybala put the ball exactly on the head of Higuain, which he didn't do crap up to that point. Although, I have to give him that on the second goal that Juventus was taken away, Skriniar pushed him, and that for me was a penalty. You know what the episode that we were talking before the live podcast, right, Peter? What's his name? The Croatian over there.
Perisic? Brozovic?
No, not Perisic.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
The guy that deserved the second yellow was not thrown out.
Pjanic.
Okay,
No.
Pjanic.
Oh, okay.
He's Bosnian.
Bosnian, yeah.
Okay, so Pjanic he did clear. It was a butcher foul.
Yeah.
What he did. Not only came with his knee, he actually went with his elbow.
That was the second yellow.
So for the
Should be.
the ref just to punish the Inter player for complaining, that was real bad. I mean, you can just punish somebody for protesting, but you have to just punish even the foul.
I think Inter actually had a bad first half, like pretty bad. They woke up in the second half. They played a good 30 minutes, and after that, I do feel like they did get a little complacent. Like you were saying, they took out Icardi, who Icardi was having the best game. Icardi was leading the whole team, and they take him out, and they bring in, they clog the midfield, they clog the defense against Juventus, which we all know if you make any mistakes with Juventus or if sleep for a second, that's when they really punish you.
No, I think they ran. Peter, you can just tell me whether you agree or not with me. I think they ran out of gas. I think Spalletti, when you are 10 against 11, he asked them too much. He pressed them. He asked them to press the ball ender all the time. Those guys, they don't have 90 minutes of just keep pressing. I think almost 100% the last 10 minutes they didn't have it. That's why, there was even this miscommunication. Who's going out? Who's going in?
They parked the bus too much.
Initially was Icardi. I mean, what's his name? Perisic supposed to be out. And then the communication with no, I don't want to go out. And then Icardi was sacrificed for that. I don't know if Icardi wanted to go out or he was asked to get out. He didn't want to go out.
He was mad when he got subbed
So-
out when he shouldn't have gotten.
So now you are the coach, right, Peter? If you are the coach, what kind of a position you taking of there? Is there rules and regulation? Can you say, okay, listen, guys, we're keeping both of them in, or what do you do? Or when you ask for quando tu hai chiamato per il cambio, che fai?
No, but I
Wait,
think
before you
also-
start, Peter is an Interista actually, so if anyone's new to him, he's supporting
And
Inter.
I think it's half related with Spalletti. Look,
Yeah.
his look.
Yeah, we have, we have the
little
same
bit,
look.
right?
I just got my tan too, so I'm all good. It was just a terrible match for Sato. He was not consistent. Let's leave it at that. Because you want to call the foul for Vecino, was a yellow card. In Italy, Gazzetta dello Sport, they were saying that it's more of an orange card in the sense where you can give the yellow and it would be okay. But he went back to VAR. He felt there was a red card. Yes, he got him. In slow motion, it looks like a really bad foul. But during the play of game, I mean, when I first saw it, I didn't think anything of it.
No, Peter,
It happened.
it was
Yeah,
a red.
he got him.
It
He
was
got
a
him.
red.
I do
He
think it
got
was a
it.
red card,
So,
that one.
it was a red.
It seemed to
I don't think it was a red card.
100% red.
I don't think it was a
I
red
think it was
card.
red.
The first second I saw it, Vecino didn't mean to step on him.
Oh,
He
you
had time-
kidding me?
He had time to retract
That's
his
right.
foul.
I don't think so.
He had
I
time
don't
to
think
retract
so.
his
Shit in
foul.
two
But
pieces.
listen,
Yeah, that was
I know a lot of
very
people show the
dangerous.
image of Mandzukic's leg as the proof, like, look, it's a red card.
No, it's not
but just
that.
because
It's
you
not
get
that.
injured or it's bad, I'm not saying it's a good
was
thing, but
complete
it doesn't
on
mean
his
that
shit.
it doesn't mean that it's a red card.
It was
Because
think-
to me, Vecino's leg is not like this. It's not
It's
up.
low.
Yeah, but
it's
it-
He
low.
steps on him.
In
He
the
steps on him.
last second, Mandzukic kicked the ball. He was running and he stepped on him. It was a little bit extended. To me, it's a yellow card. I thought it should have been
he
a yellow
knew he
card.
wasn't winning that
I don't think
ball
that was sending
regardless.
off.
That's a
I don't think
red.
it was-
That's a
he-
clean red.
he-
End of the
Either
story.
way. Either
He
way.
wasn't getting that call. the
Okay,
ball.
we say yellow card, you say red card.
Okay.
Look at this. Referee could be split. Some say yellow,
Yeah,
some
yeah.
say red.
And it was a red on Pjanic. for
Okay,
100%.
but regardless that, the
was a
Pjanic
red.
was 100% a second
100%.
yellow
Well, that's
card.
what I want to
Yeah.
go towards now. Pjanic, right? So,
Yeah.
Pjanic had the yellow. He got away with the foul on Rafinha and didn't even call a foul. Then in the 58th minute, he fouls Rafinha again with his knee in his chest
And the ref
and
was-
elbow.
And the elbow.
Referee's right there. Okay, calls the foul. I mean, if you see that foul, you have to have the same courage that you have to give the red card for Vecino. You have to have the same courage and give the foul, give the second yellow to Pjanic, and he's sent off.
I agree.
What happens there? Okay, the game at the moment was 1-1. I'm not saying that Inter would win, Juventus will win. We don't know. All we know is that it changes.
Of course.
It would have been
It
10 on 10.
changes the
10 with 10.
situation.
10 with
changes
10.
the
Besides being 10v10, now it's up to Allegri to make a substitution. Does he add another midfielder and take out a striker? Because remember, Cuadrado this game was playing as a right back, and he was getting burned by Perisic. A lot of times he got caught out of place, and I thought it was a big risk. But what happened was, later in the game, when Juventus had the pressure to score, it actually helped because Cuadrado was the one that actually was able to get in the box and stuff like that. But the matter is when someone gets a red card and the game is 10v10, it changes
dynamics
Spalletti's.
of the game.
Yeah, it changes the
100%,
dynamics of the game.
100%.
And now Allegri doesn't put Bernardeschi, Dybala. He maybe puts in a midfielder to shore up the
Marquisio,
game.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's
Bologna. We'll
I'm
never
ju-
put him
but-
in.
But I'm trying to say is
But Peter, here's my point with you.
Yeah, we're on the
it
same roll.
changes
We're on
the
Here's
the
my
game.
point
It
with you,
changes
Peter.
the
Here's
game.
my point with you. Why, after the second foul, they didn't
Go for VAR.
For the
That's
VAR.
what I said.
That's what he said.
That should be, consistency right there. If you go for VAR,
I agree.
VAR on
I
the other
feel like
end.
it's only used when they feel like, which shouldn't be
Yeah.
the case. It
But-
should be used for every instance.
I
of
will
controversy.
punish Orsato with 3 weeks just coaching the 5-year-old girls over there.
But
on
you
the
see what
not even
happens here?
guys.
The instance
the
of
girls.
him not calling that could change a whole spectrum. Could bring the Scudetto back. You know what I'm saying? Back to whatever.
All right,
maybe
guys.
Juve couldn't
No,
get
I
back.
mean-
guys. We're gonna handle each situation,
Yeah.
and we all say what we think. I think everyone here agrees it should have been a second yellow for Pjanic.
Yeah.
I know a few people have been sending us these things beforehand. After I didn't see any of the videos, somebody says, "Oh, there was something happened before that he didn't call." Whatever. To me, it was a sending off for Pjanic. It wasn't a sending off for Vecino. And the third one, let's just get all the refereeing decisions. For me, Skriniar was the only one that was really a red card. Vecino's wasn't. Skriniar, 100%, it's a red card.
Yeah, last man
He doesn't-
back, he gets the
at
foul, something like
91st
that.
minute, whatever it was.
But
just to say.
At the end of the game, this is after everything. So, I
Yes.
mean, yes, you can say, oh, we can nitpick on every little thing. And, as far as like calcio fans, that's what we want to do. We look at
Yeah.
every decision, but it's hard because the referee, unfortunately, is a protagonist of every game because each referee is able to change a game. And I mean, Collina said it in Europe. He's saying, listen, at the end of the day, the referee is going to make these decisions. And we have to accept it.
But the referee defeated the VAR
but
too
that's
at this point.
But that's the problem. With VAR, they weren't able to be consistent. Because if you don't call a foul on one side, you have to have a reason for it, You have to be, okay, it wasn't a foul because I saw it this way. And then if you see the same exact foul, it's not a foul then. You cannot change. You cannot flip-flop.
Just like we've seen all
know?
season with
But
the Serie A.
one thing, Marco, excuse me. One
Yeah.
thing is still not clear to me, to everybody. When the ref goes to the sideline and just goes to look at the VAR, who's telling him yes or not?
No.
Is that him making the decision by looking,
He
or
makes
there
it.
is somebody else?
Yes, there's
two.
someone.
There's
There's
two.
someone who does a silent check, and he says, if it's worth it for Orsato or whoever the referee is to come over and check himself?"
But at the end, who makes the decision?
But if
No,
he checks
Orsato,
it, he
the referee,
goes.
is the one who makes the
Yeah,
decision
he makes
when
a
he
final
goes over to
decision.
there and does it. Listen, I don't want to get caught up the entire
But
thing on referee.
let's finish up with
stay.
this,
I
and
know,
that's what I
I'm
think
saying.
is
Let's stay on
wrong,
track.
Peter.
Stay on track.
What's wrong with the VAR right now is the fact that we give the referee just the benefit of the doubt all the time. When you have somebody, I would say I would put 5 people that
told
they
you, we
have
talked about
nothing
this
to do.
before. We
I
all
know,
agree.
but this is the reasons why we're
We
going to
agree,
keep talking
we
about
agree.
it. And I think that's wrong. That's why referee can be on the pockets of administration.
Okay, but we already spoke
I mean, I
about
don't
how
think it's
the we
to that
already
extent.
spoke about it, so
I
there's no
mean-
point to keep going back when we
Yeah.
speak
All right,
about
fine.
it. Otherwise,
Fine.
we're going to be here
I
for
think-
3
yeah, of
hours.
course.
Say the last thing that you wanted to say about which call. you
I
wanted to talk
think
about.
I think there was a penalty on Higuain when the goal
Yes.
was taken away. That Skriniar, Higuain was about to take the ball and shoot the ball, and Skriniar went
Oh,
from the
no.
back and just knock him down. He
I
just
don't-
put him out of balance.
I don't
which
call
one?
For
that.
Say
me,
your say your perspective. Yeah, go.
for me, that was
On
a
the
penalty.
Matuidi goal that was
If
called
that,
offside.
if that would have gone on the VAR, what happened when they went to see the VAR? They wanted to see the position of whether the guy was offside or was not offside. But if they actually paid attention on the play, Skriniar on the timing that Higuain was about to kick the ball into the net, Skriniar really pushing real hard from the back. Just look at
I
it.
think I know. I saw it. I saw it in slow motion. To me, it was a fair challenge. It was one of those 50-50.
Was that the shoulder
You give
one?
him-
Yes,
shoulder
it
to
was when
shoulder?
Matu-
Shoulder from
It was-
behind. What shoulder?
We
No,
already
he
spoke about that
turned.
one.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's when
man.
Matuidi scored the goal and they called it offsides. Right before that, there was a push. We saw it all together, and you didn't think it was a penalty.
I thought it was a penalty.
We already went through it. I don't think it was a penalty. I think it was fair. The
Right.
other one was more. He was looking at Higuain. This one, he had his eyes on the ball. Higuain's next to him, and it should be a little bit lenient too. In the box, you got to push a little bit. You can't have light nitpicking of everything. But the point of everything is that there are so many calls that everybody talks about. So many. At the end of the day, we already went through what we want with the VAR. That somebody else calls it. And look, we can keep going through situations. He says a red card. You say it's an orange card. I say it's a yellow card. We're always going to disagree. Everybody sees a different perspective. And I think we got that out of the way. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the football that we saw today. Because even when I spoke to my grandpa, he's an Inter fan. He was he hates
He didn't let you sleep in the
he
house.
hates he hates controversy. He hates when the
Yeah.
game is thrown out with the referee and everybody talks about it.
Oh, of
You know,
course.
he was upset with the football that was at play. But I will say that Inter in 10 men really showed me a lot of character. You know, sometimes with 10 men, you don't know if you're going to get that extra push, or like Napoli today, you're going to collapse and the other team's going to take over. So I give so much respect for Inter, even being down 1-0 already, to Juventus. With, you know, full San Siro, they extremely impressed me. And the guy who impressed me even more, the most, who I gained a lot of respect for,
Brozovic?
talk about what you want about his off the field. I don't really care right now. I'm talking about on the field. Mauro Icardi. We've all come on here and said how amazing he is as a finisher in the box. He was not a finisher last night. He was working his ass off outside the area, pushing, shoving, going to leave balls off left and right for his players. He was a leader, and I've questioned him as a captain before. But I love that he got pissed when he was subbed off. He didn't do it in a negative way. It's a competitive way. He was pushing his players to keep going. Even on the sidelines, people making fun of him that he's crying.
He was running
Yo,
the
that's how it
show.
should be. You should be
Yeah.
competitive
Yeah.
enough.
yeah.
Like, yo, I'm pissed off,
Yeah, the guy
and I want to win.
He
And
cares for the game, especially against Juventus. Was their chance to stay in the Champions League
exactly.
run, and you know that was a big blowout, was a big letdown.
So I spoke about Inter, and for Juventus, on the other hand, very disappointed in this team. The way that they were handling this match with the 10-man Inter, they were sitting back so many times, sitting far back. And at that point when it was 2-1, when Barzagli, who was slow the entire match, the guy cannot keep up anymore. We talk about, you say Buffon's old, he's gone down. I don't agree with that. I will agree that Barzagli is way out of place at this Juventus. He's very slow. I love his hunger, whatever. But
A little unlucky too. Come on. You
no,
know, the guy,
but I'm not even the goal.
No, he's
not even the
No,
goal.
you can't blame him
no,
for that.
before,
He could've hit off
before,
anyone.
before.
Yeah.
And I will say that at that point when it was 2-1 in the 80th minute, I was thinking Allegri, Juventus. There was a point in this match where I don't know if you guys knew, Douglas Costa, Bernardeschi, Higuain, Dybala, Quadrado, 5.
Mandzukic.
I don't know if Mandzukic was still on.
No, was
Maybe
no,
at the same time as all 5 of those. I think
It just
Bernardeschi
came
came
5
on.
minutes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these 5 players were on for Juventus. 5 of great players that you could put in almost any team in Serie A in the world. And Juventus were struggling to score. There was something that was not clicking. Maybe you say sometimes this happens in football. Maybe this and that. But I will give it to Juventus. And I think that the match changed the moment that Spalletti took out Icardi and the moment that Allegri put in Dybala. The mix of those two things, to me, shifted the balance of the game. And Juventus, who deserves so much credit for being able to come back to this match, as disappointing as they were, as much as every Juve fan was pissed during the match, it takes like a strong, a team that's so mentally strong to be able to put 2 goals in 1 minute between each other, 2 minutes between each other, and they deserve a lot of credit. Juventus deserve a lot of credit for doing
I have
that.
a good question for you and for you.
Yeah.
I'm just
Do
gonna
you
say it
think
by myself.
Allegri? Mike, I know what he's going to say. That's why I'm asking him. He only cares about Manolas. Do you think Allegri was forced to put in Dybala after it was down to 1, even though him and Dybala, they're not clicking? Why a player like that doesn't even come in, at least on the second half, or you start a player? He's a champion. The guy's a champion. Why you bringing Dybala in when you are in trouble and 20 minutes before the end of the game?
I want to hear your side of the field, the
Why?
game, though.
I think with the 4-3-3, Dybala doesn't have a real position. He's one of those players that he has to be free. So Allegri doesn't want that type of player. He wants players like Mandzukic, who's going to be up and down the lines. If Mandzukic tracks back, Douglas Costa's going back and forth. I mean, Dybala, like you said, is a great player, fantastic player. You know, at any a moment of the game, he can change a game. Look at the free kick that he had.
I have a different
Started
opinion,
cheating.
and I'm going to tell you the
Let him-
reasons
let
why.
him
Finish
finish,
up.
let
I
him
mean, no, but I mean, I could see that Dybala this year, he's had a iffy relationship with Allegri. I mean, he's been
That's my
4 or
point.
5 days, 4 or 5 games that he wasn't playing.
That
And
is
he
my
scored. I don't know how many goals, but I think 20 goals
Yeah,
this
something
year,
like
21 goals this year. So I mean, he's definitely a goal scorer, a top player. He just, I guess, didn't see him in this game.
I'll tell you what, Peter. I agree 100% with what you said, but I'm going to add to this, to what you just said, this thing here. Allegri, whether he liked it or not, he had to put him in.
Oh,
I'll
without a
tell
doubt.
the reasons why the pressure was mounting from the top 4 or 5 guys sitting on on the stadium over there, and the rest of the tifosi that Juventus are around. If Juventus will have lost 2-1, and this guy
Dybala
here,
won.
Allegri, will never have brought Dybala
Oh,
inside,
forget it.
the guy will not even finish the season.
Ah,
Especially if Napoli will have, I'm telling you, especially if Napoli will have won today. This is very critical. You bring Dybala in, he makes the 2 touches, one on the free kick and one to Quadrato. The guy changed the Campionato in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Dybala is the winner of the Campionato.
Peter, talk about the game. What'd you think?
Oh, I mean, Inter with 10 men played a fantastic game. Like Mike, the first half, they were confused. There was a lot of bad passes. Juventus had a chance to double up. Thank God. I guess in one way, thank God for VAR as far as the Matuidi goal, because if there was no VAR, that's a goal.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's, very harsh. So two down with 10 men.
Yeah.
Besides now referee decisions, whatnot, I think, the game was good. I mean, Juventus hasn't been playing really well in the past 4 or 5 games. So Inter definitely try to counter. And I think the type of players that they have with Rafinha, Perisic, Kandreva helps that aspect of the game. Like I said, I was surprised with Allegri's decision to put Quadrado as a right back.
I think everybody was.
Yeah, but also he was, and I'm surprised he never took him out.
He had a yellow card.
Not even, besides the yellow
He was getting
card,
exposed.
Perisic was taking him on
He was getting exposed a lot. They kept
over and
going down
over
his
again.
flank.
And I remember that one time Quadrado just jumps, aimlessly pretty much, and Perisic had the chance to take him on. But instead, Perisic was looking to get the foul, doesn't get a foul, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think also the difference is the amount of players, the depth of a team Juventus has and Inter has.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to harp on Spalletti. Even myself to a certain point, when he made those subs, I'm like, oh man, really? We're gonna put Borja Valero, we're gonna put Santon. But then looking back on it, you playing 75 minutes versus Juventus with 10 men. The probability of Juventus scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes is very low, but it happened.
No, yeah.
But also you're trying to defend the lead. At that point, if you have to put fresh legs, who are you going to take out? You're going to take out a midfielder? Besides that, who are you going to put in? Because the only midfielder that Spalletti had at his disposal was Borja Valero.
I don't criticize that as much.
You're looking at the Santon.
It's just the lack of
because
depth.
The Santon thing, I think, was to add an extra winger. Because they added 5 wingers.
There is a winger. That's
No,
that was my
I'm
point.
saying Santon's a
It's a
defender.
winger.
He's more of a right back, left back. Yeah. So he tried to add an extra thing. D'Ambrosio, when Santon came in, switched sides.
he did.
Douglas Costa got stopped by D'Ambrosio. Okay, right away, Allegri makes the switch to turn him back out. The only thing is I think it's the lack of concentration that Santon did not have. For some reason, I guess he wasn't in this game. You cannot leave Higuain in the box like that, wide open. The same way Icardi can be left.
On Higuain.
Yeah,
They
but
were
they were
Santon
both.
too.
As a defender, you have to be able to close it down together.
I think
Because
just like
when you have someone at your back, it's hard.
Santon
But-
too,
but
Marco.
Santon has the chance to.
But when
to
you're in the
jump up.
box, and this was on Icardi's goal, I can't remember who was on him, but it was the wrong player. There was someone on Icardi, like a mid. I think it was like Quadrado. I'll just say Quadrado, just to put it out there. If Icardi, Icardi is one of the biggest threats for Inter in the box. You put a Barzagli on him. You put someone who's experienced, just like Higuain. It's Miranda. You don't put Santon on Higuain, who's one of the most dangerous inside the box. To me, that's not how it is.
But listen,
And that was a big mistake from Juventus, and that was a big mistake also for Inter. I think both of the set pieces.
What-
It was terrible defending.
Marco,
They were both terrible
What
defending.
makes me go crazy about the change? I mean, aside from Spalletti that made it that substitution, but when you got in as a player like Santon, you know that your responsibility is extremely high.
Defend.
Okay, so what happened is, what's his name? When Dybala put the ball into the middle for the goal of the
He was
3-2.
lost, yeah. He was beat.
Nobody, not even body checked the Higuain. When you're a defender and you know that the most dangerous player are into the box on the same line that you are, at least you have a body check. I'm not saying pull the shirt. You have to have the body
you
contact
have
with
to
the other
touch.
person. The guy was completely untouched. He almost walked into the freaking net with his head.
Yeah.
Nothing was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I see some people. There are certain people criticizing Handanovic on this. What do you
Handanovic
guys think?
got- no, it's got
I don't
nothing
think.
to do
I
with
didn't
that.
think he had anything to do with it.
Nothing
I was
to do.
conf-
A lot of people did blame
Yes?
him. You're right. But
Handanovic
no,
just-
you can't
No,
blame
absolutely.
Handanovic.
I don't think
so.
think
I don't
he's
think so.
good.
I didn't think
because
so.
He for both goals.
Yeah.
The first two goals, Douglas Costa, I think, was deflected. If
No,
I'm not,
they were
there
both-
was a
both-
deflection
both
on that,
goals.
so he got caught. He didn't get the trajectory of the ball. The Skriniar own goal. I mean,
How did that
you
happen?
cannot do anything.
I still didn't
And
even
the
think that
third
was
one,
inside.
I think-
I feel like
There,
it. I
it
don't
went right
know,
into
but
the
I think
far
it comes
court.
from the third goal. That's the only thing I could think of.
Third goal. What do you want him to come out?
I know. I'm
mean,
with
No,
you.
no, no, Marco.
I'm with you. No, I'm not saying that.
It's
I'm just saying, bringing up an
Yeah,
argument.
I
that
heard that too,
assert-
Marco, about Handanovic.
That's just why I brought it up. But anyway, because I think we could go an hour.
Well, we could
on
also
this.
talk about Higuain's miss.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh
He
my
had the
God.
ball right
One-on-one
over there.
when
and
he jumped
missed it.
Handanovic
Yeah.
on the left-hand
One
side.
on one with the keeper,
Higuain
yeah.
played 80 minutes that were awful.
Yeah.
Like you talk about him off the ball. Listen, you spend 90 million on a player. You got to put the ball in the back of the net in the biggest games in the world. And maybe it does say something about his character that even after 88 minutes they were playing terrible. 7 games in a row, Higuain didn't score. And he was able to put it in. Listen, at the end of the day, that's how it's gonna go, and that's what's gonna be remembered. Is not look. I almost forgot about the miss. But if Higuain doesn't score in the 89th minute, it would be about the miss. That's football's a game of inches.
Peter.
A few more minutes less or a few more minutes more, we'd be talking about completely different games.
If you were the coach of Argentina, once you see Higuain missing that ball when you're jumping Handanovic, and then you, with your left, which is supposed to be one of his best foot, you put the ball
He only has 2 feet.
listen to me.
You make it seem like he's got 8 feet.
Listen, once you missing, it's not that it was too much too much on the side over there. He had plenty of an angle to just bury the ball inside. That thing, I think, is going to make it, that goal that he missed is going to lose his place into the Argentina national team, and Icardi is going to take his place.
I don't think
Ooh,
that's
I don't know about
I
that.
am telling you, I will never put a player like that when you have a clean chance, like with an empty
Well, he's
net,
done it in the past. I mean,
con il risultato on the line, and
Guys, we
then
gotta
you're
move
making
on.
that mistake. Forget about it.
We got to move on.
Okay,
Anyone
so
else has anything else to add?
this will trigger now the next game, which is Fiorentina. Which is Napoli Fiorentina.
Fiorentina-Napoli.
Fiorentina-Napoli. So what's happening on Fiorentina-Napoli? This game was played so much on nerves than on the field, than on the field itself. So the Napoli players, they got so much pressure even before the game was started. Okay, you can just look at the body language
tension.
of those people, and they know that for them it's like a life and death. Especially when Juventus wins before you. Oh my God! I would just like to see the faces of those guys in the hotel before
They showed it.
They did.
They
Oh
actually
my God.
showed it. I don't know if you guys saw those. They zoomed in with a camera
my
while
God.
Napoli were watching Inter Juve.
Towards the end, yeah.
And-
That must have been very depressing. So
yeah, I know. You go the minutes there. I feel like we
full of
spoke about
emotion.
this even a few weeks ago when Juve made a comeback. Maybe it
with
was against
Lazio. Where's Lazio?
Right?
The same
Right.
exact
No,
thing.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
Everybody
that's
was
what I
thinking,
said.
oh, Juventus is going to drop points versus
Yeah,
Lazio.
exactly.
95th minute, Dybala gets that goal.
Exactly.
And Napoli just came out poor versus
Napoli-
Roma.
Napoli
Versus Roma.
were
Remember the 2-4
awful.
loss.
Today against Fiorentina, I even thought, I said, listen, Fiorentina is one of those tricky sides. They went 6 games or 7 games
Without
without
winning,
losing. Then they struggled a little bit. And today, I mean, the Napoli got screwed because in the first few minutes they got a red card with Koulibaly, who they called a penalty kick and no red card, yellow card. Then the VAR, they looked at the VAR. It was definitely outside of the box. To me, I mean, it was a right call. The VAR got it right. It wasn't a penalty kick, and it was a red card for me.
it was a red card.
Yeah.
It was
me, it was not.
It was last
I
man,
don't know.
Antonio, and he missed the ball completely.
But he didn't kick him on the
he did.
stomach.
No,
No,
he
he
did.
did.
He missed
Not
the
a
ball.
little bit. I mean, you missed the
But
ball.
it's last man, though.
Ah,
Did you
come
think it
on.
was?
You know what? It's just.
What do you think, Peter?
it's
Was it red?
I wouldn't like to give it a red, but it's by letter of the law. Last man,
it's
it's
a-
a red card.
I
But
think it's a
then,
red.
but then again, there's times when some refs don't make the decision with the goalie last man. They give the yellow instead.
But that's in
So-
the box, I think.
It is
Right.
in the box. Yeah, if it's
So what? If it's in the box, it's a yellow. If it's outside the box, it's red.
Apparently,
If
they
they
don't
give-
want to do a double standard of a red card and a
So
penalty.
then I
kick.
rather take the penalty.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't make
But-
any
but
sense.
no,
a
if
double
it's in the-
standard.
I'm just saying
No,
if it's
no.
in the box.
Peter,
It wasn't in the
Because
box.
especially with Napoli, with,
It wasn't in
with
the
11
box.
men, they would be able to.
And it's Koulibaly,
No,
who's
yeah.
the best defender for
defender for
Napoli.
Napoli.
And then Sadi took out Jorginho, where I said, Jesus, he's taking out Jorginho. Jorginho is the creative guy for Napoli. I said, this is going to be a terrible match. The front three for Napoli did not do anything. Insigne, Mertens for a few games has not done it.
Hamsik
Insigne,
too.
Mertens, Callejon, Hamsik. Like, I can't remember. They had one shot on target. I can't remember
whole
anything
game.
positive that they did. And then Tonelli comes in. He created a mess with Gio Simeone, who Simeone, 3 goals. He scored his first career hat-trick against Napoli. They were completely lost. They had no concentration. I know against 10 men, there's an argument. Oh, against 10 men, look what Inter did. They were playing amazing. Now, with 10 men, you're like, oh, come on, they were playing with 10 men. How you expect them to do anything? So it's a lot about perspective. But to me, Napoli.
Oh, well, I mean, Inter is playing with 10 men and being able to, play well is an outlier. A lot of teams, when they go down 10 men, it's
just
completely
fold it out.
different.
Yeah,
It's
well, that's what
completely
I'm
different.
saying, though.
And I think
Napoli
also,
did that.
And I think also the pressure, like Antonio said, they were watching the game. You have highs and lows, and then you especially last week, it took a lot of energy for Napoli
much
to beat
celebrating,
Juventus.
too.
And then you know what? The expectation that the Tifoseria they built too, Peter.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
you go
course,
4,000 or 5,000
course.
people waiting for them at the airport.
course.
They
Because
know.
I think they believe they're trying to support.
Yeah.
But the thing, it's just Napoli. At the end of the day, you have to do a job and you have to win all these games. Already, they messed up in the past where they've dropped some points.
They were ahead.
They were lucky that Juventus slipped these past 3 or 4
Crotone
games.
and Spal.
Crotone,
Spal.
and then Napoli had the chance
Yeah.
to when they won straight up game.
Now, against Milan, yeah.
Yeah. So it's.
I think Napoli with a little bit of luck will have been in a different position right now. But again,
Not about luck, though.
sometimes
3-0.
I know. But Juventus to win the game in the last 5 minutes. I mean, you have to be very lucky at the spot. Not
They've been
Napoli itself,
consistently
but
doing it.
unbelievable. I mean, hey.
It's not the first time that there's been a comeback. You got to
Oh,
expect
but that's
this
the
kind of
difference.
stuff.
Like I said, there's a difference in the squads. Juventus has 3 teams, and Allegri has a lot of players at his disposal that they could change the game in a matter of seconds. Napoli, unfortunately, it happens every year where they use the same 15 players,
Not even.
and they don't have subs, quality subs. Especially, everybody complains about the midfield. I think it's more of the strikers that they don't have substitutes for. The midfield, I love Diawara. I think he's going to be a good player. He's a
Zielinski.
young guy. Zielinski.
He's a very good
Even
player.
Raw comes in. Jorginho. So, I mean, just that, like, the luxury of Allegri saying, Dybala, have a seat.
They put
Sadik-
Bernardeschi, Dybala, and who else in the game from the bench?
Oh, he put Bentancur.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, that ruined my point a little bit. But either way, you started with Cuadrado, Douglas Costa, Mandzukic,
Yeah.
Higuain.
But
Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody else too.
Yeah, there's
Like-
you have
Cuadrado's
a
playing
second
right back.
squad that
Cuadrado.
could compete for Europe, even the Scudetto. But
Yeah, but also where these guys played in the past. It's a big
That's
thing.
true.
Higuain's played in Real
Napoli.
Madrid. Besides
Yeah,
Napoli,
Real Madrid.
Kedira,
Douglas Costa, Bayern Munich.
playing Real Madrid. Douglas Costa, Bayern
But at the end of the day,
Munich.
also Raul
These guys-
Albiol was at Napoli, and I mean, it was at Real Madrid. Also him. I feel like
I know
Pepe
that too.
Reina is another guy that we say so much experience. They didn't step up when you needed to step up here. Last week, we're talking about a different game. Last week, we say, wow, look at Napoli. They had the mentality to do it. This week now, a few things went in the favor of Juve. A few things didn't go in the
Oh, that's
favor of
what I'm
Napoli.
saying.
And look, and it's 4 points. It's still not done. It's not done. You call me crazy. There's still 3 games. Juventus have to win 2 out. If Juventus win 2 out of the 3, they win the Campionato.
Yeah.
They could lose to Roma, and they have to beat Bologna and Hellas Verona at home. Roma is away. Either way, don't roll your eyes and say it's over, because you were saying 4 weeks ago it's over.
It's over.
Did you think that today Fiorentina was going to win 3-0?
I was hoping not to be over, but it's over.
It's not over.
Again.
Juventus could slip up against Bologna,
Nah, there's
they
still
win,
time.
and then what
the
happens?
thing is, we're gonna keep saying the same thing.
I
So
know,
it's
that's
till
what
the
I'm
last
saying.
game.
To me,
literally.
it's over. The psychology of the game is there.
But Antonio,
Now,
you've been saying that too.
wait, let me just tell you something. This game, the game of the last, especially the way the Campionato has been played so closely this year, the game it does not really rely as much as on the formation of the 4-4-2, 4-3-2-1, or I don't know, 4-3-3. It just relies on the individual play of
it's part of it.
of some of the superstars. In the particular case of Juventus, I don't think Allegri had anything to do with the win of Juventus. He had to do with the genius of Dybala to be capable to read the game, to put the ball on the head of the Higuain, and to feed the ball deep down to Quadrato.
Did
Those
you
are
watch his
plays.
interview, Allegri?
What Allegri?
Did you hear what he
No.
said? He said the exact same thing. It's funny. He went off at Sky Italia. They said your tactics, you're this. He said you guys watch NBA.
The reasons why
He
I'm
said
saying
it's very individual.
The
He said you
reasons
guys
why
don't
I'm
take
saying
into
like
account
this,
that. So
I'm
it's
saying
funny he
this
said
is because look what happened with Napoli. If what's his name, Insigne is not having a great day, he's having an okay day.
Yeah.
Those
Mertens
are-
and Callejon, same
Those
thing.
are different makers. In this particular case, Dybala is making the difference for Juventus, and Insigne is not making the difference, or Mertens is not making the difference, or somebody else is not making the difference. So this is about individual play during the 90 minutes that they can change the entire campionato. Now, as far as formation comes itself, I like the way Sarri put the team inside of the field. Maybe the red card to Koulibaly made a big difference, but when you playing against Fiorentina. Fiorentina is not Inter, it's not Milan, it's not Juventus, it's not the top four, it's not Lazio. You have to go over there and win. You gotta go and win.
Yeah.
Okay? You gotta go and win. The same way Inter played 10 against 11. You have to just be able to just calm down and just leave it on the field. I think the tension of the player really, did it to them.
That's why I think the tension really influenced the game.
And the pressure on winning the
because-
game.
Yeah, because the two goals that I saw, the first goal and the third goal, were defensive blunders. I mean, Tonelli leaves Simone make a run right over his back, and he stops for a second.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened
Who's
there.
side,
If he's
I
looking
think,
for the flag to go up or whatnot. Then the last one, his side leaves the guy on side. You're not lined up with your defense. These are things that at a Serie A level or a Napoli who's aiming for a
Scudetto,
Should be
you
happening.
can't make these
Yeah.
mistakes.
Exactly.
And then
But again, you see what I was
tension,
saying
yeah.
before, Peter, those are players that normally they won't do that.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
they get caught in a bad day and the tension building up on them that they're starting to second guess themselves.
Yeah.
But
And
at the same time, also Juventus defenders were awful. I mean, Barzagli was getting run around like 3-4 times.
But the unfortunate thing is Inter was down to 10 men. So
You
we
see?
weren't able to
they were not able to
really-
hold it.
really
That
challenge.
adds on to it, of course.
Inter played a great game. It just didn't
They couldn't finish it.
They couldn't finish it.
Listen, we still got. Listen, it was very exciting just to see everybody with Inter Juventus. People I've never seen even talk about Serie A watch this game during the match. It was I didn't see anything from any other league in the world, which was unbelievable. It was unbelievable to see that how many people were watching Inter Juventus, which historically has always been, it's a derby d'Italia. It's a huge match. I know being sports, they have that little El Clasico in 8 days, but this is much better than any El Clasico is going to be this season with Barcelona winning. Yeah. So I think that this is still a very good thing for the Serie A.
Well, this year, I
was
mean,
so exciting.
this derby, there was a lot on the line.
Yeah, it
Because
was
now,
so back and forth too.
Champions League.
Yeah, Inter
Scudetto.
now
I
has
think
a real risk of not making
Icardi
Champions League.
crying really got to me because the guy really wanted to be on the Champions League. And,
It shows that he really
But you
know what?
loves the club.
Yeah.
as much as I hate Inter and Juventus, don't get me wrong, but
Who did you want to win? But you hate Inter, you hate Juventus, you hate Spalletti, you hate Allegri.
I want Gattuso to win.
Listen, okay, let's move on. 'cause
Let's
I
talk
think-
about Gattuso
let's
and
go.
AC Milan. I think we have some good news today. Let's see what happens.
Your Milan struggled, but they found a way to win against Bologna, 2-1 against Bologna. Wait, you're happy?
I am
Finally?
happy. I didn't watch the game because I was playing the game and we lost 2-1 too. But thank God AC Milan
You
won
belong.
2-1. Yeah. So hey, listen. We need to stay as close as possible to Atalanta, and we need just Juventus to look the other way when we play them in 10 days for the final of the Coppa Italia. So I'm very afraid that if we do not win against the direct match against Atalanta, I think we're not gonna watch we're gonna be watching the UEFA League from the bench.
As a
Do you mind?
Yeah,
Do you
can
care
I
if
I
you're not in
do,
the
I
Coppa?
do, I
Extra
do.
revenue, Marco.
Why?
I
And
do.
exposure.
Maybe
Milan.
it's a better thing. Look at Inter. They're not in it this year. Remember last year they had against Beer Sheva.
Apoel Beersheva.
This year, look, they're challenging for Champions League. Maybe it's better.
You know what? I get upset with that. I think that every team, if you make it should be prestigious because before the UEFA Cup.
Yeah.
Before it was called UEFA Cup.
Coppa UEFA.
These teams Inter, I think, has one of the better records of all teams because I think it was the first two that actually made Champions League. First and second place used to
Right.
make Champions League. It wasn't the four teams.
Right.
So the third and fourth place teams, they really strive to win that
Yeah.
tournament. So that cup. So I mean, I think if you're Milan, if you're Inter, or whoever, you
Everybody,
have to give
yeah.
everything. And yeah, they say, oh, but you play on Thursday, it influences the game on Saturday, Sunday. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's good for Serie A because
Yeah.
you win that league, you have automatic entrance into the Champions League, and it's just good exposure. You know, now teams that don't usually watch, or people that don't usually watch Serie A, they'll watch an Inter game, and as an Inter fan or as Inter as a club, you have to compete in Europe.
You definitely
You have
definitely.
to, and Milan is the same way.
they never take
Milan,
it seriously to me.
Milan,
Who doesn't?
yeah, they don't.
The clubs
They-
don't take it seriously. Inter and Milan.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Napoli.
serious.
But that's
not
that's
true
what has to
Napoli.
be, that's what has
Napoli
to change.
completely.
Like that's just why I'm saying as a fan, because it's not going to change by next season that they're going to all of a sudden take it seriously. Maybe not. But I wouldn't be too upset about that.
I mean, this
That-
year I think
that-
Milan took it very seriously. They
Yeah,
just
they
didn't.
did.
They
A little
just
bit.
didn't get the right calls. Also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some controversial calls, but
all the
got
time.
those.
But
But-
listen, it's true. I mean, the point is that you cannot really be a top team. Milan is a top team in Europe, in the world.
Yeah.
Don't forget that we are second team on the world for number of trophy and quality and
Make sure I get
history
that in.
and everything else. We got it all. I mean, hey, everybody wants to have the carnets of AC Milan when it comes down to how many Champions League we won and the history that we built into this game here. So, and the top players that we had playing for AC Milan. Now, the bottom line is Gattuso is doing the best that he can. I think he wore that shirt and he knows how much it means to wear the AC Milan shirt and what it means for a coach to bring a team across the line to say, hey, at least we made this the UEFA League. So if we fail to get into the UEFA League, it's going to be a lot of problem. Not with Gattuso, but maybe,
Mirabelli, they're saying
Financially, too.
There's a lot of problems right now. They're saying Mirabelli might be, he's in risk of his job. They even asked Gattuso. He's like, listen, I'm not married to the guy, so you can't ask me what's gonna happen. I do my job.
Gattuso left them in the dark on that one.
Yeah, and Gattuso, he
and they're
also
both
got,
Calabrese too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they must hate each other then.
I mean, even like today, they got mad. Milan fans apparently were getting mad about Andre Silva not playing. But then when Andre Silva plays, then you say, oh, why is Andre Silva not playing? So there's always.
Hey, it's easy to criticize. It's very easy to
The
criticize.
coach has, like Peter said, has put 11 players over there, and unfortunately, it's not easy to keep everybody happy. You can only play with 11. You cannot have 13 or 14 players on the field. For Gattuso, everybody, if it was up to Gattuso, he would put 20 players on the field. But he have to just stick with 11. And from time, the choices that you make might be upsetting to other
That's why
players.
the coach is very important because he's, besides just putting the right players on the field, he's also managing each player's interpersonal relationship with each player. And that's why it's so important. Some people say, oh, Mourinho, but Mourinho knows how to keep the group together. And listen, he's won in the past. He's able to keep the group together. You want to say otherwise, fine. But the point is, great managers, good managers, they know how to keep that group together. They know how important it is to rotate some players. Of course, you have the luxury if you have a longer list of players that you can put in. And pretty much, I think Milan now, they have to figure out if Gattuso's their coach, work around Gattuso as your coach, get the players that he wants, and start moving forward as far as, what's your plan? Champions League next year? Fine. That's what you have to do. You have to start being goal-oriented and just go after the objective of Champions League. Because, like you said, Milan has a rich history of Champions League. As far as it hurts me as an Inter fan to say,
You're very
Milan...
brave.
Yeah, but
But
listen,
they made Italy proud.
Listen, Milan has 7 Champions League, and I still remember 2003. We lost to semifinals to Milan based on technicality.
Antonio's nodding
we
his head
lost.
over here.
We lost on away goals. At San Siro. Both games were played at San Siro.
I remember
And
that.
year-
I was so happy. Oh, boy. I was...
It was 0-0
Back in
and
the good
1-1.
days, right? No Kalinic on your bench.
I was jumping out of my skin.
But those were the days when Inter Milan had some players on their roster.
Yeah.
And I just hope that now moving forward, both those teams are able to do it. Because I was looking at also the players. Inter, you have the skeleton with Handanovic, who I think is the top goalkeeper. Skriniar, Rafinha, Icardi.
Perisic.
We didn't say enough about. I think
yeah.
Rafinha was the
Rafinha
most
deserves-
important
These
player.
guys,
Rafinha's
they
an animal.
sacrificed.
Yeah,
because
Rafinha was amazing.
I was also looking. I don't want to get back to.
Yeah, I know,
Inter
I know.
Juventus,
Yeah, yeah.
But if you look at a lot of these guys, Instagrams, Facebook, all that stuff, because now social media, that's the new thing, Antonio. You know.
Yeah,
Everybody's
I
got- do you have Instagram?
yeah.
You got one?
No, he doesn't have
I
an
don't have
Instagram.
it. No, I
They
don't
wanted to have an Instagram.
Put an Instagram.
No.
They want a fan page of Antonio.
No way.
But anyway,
I don't go on social media. Just hate the idea. Too much information.
Yeah, making my point is, these players love this team, so we have to build on that, and I think Milan has to build on that because now is the time that each team brings it back. Let's bring Serie A back to what it was, and let's get these players. And
We have to build
let's-
off the momentum
Yeah,
that everything's
exactly.
created this season.
Yeah.
It can't just be a poof. Like,
Yeah.
listen, there's a lot of people even who love the Premier League that are like, listen, this season the Premier League is not good. La Liga is not good. The German league is not good. The French league is not a league. So we're the only ones who have.
Let's
Shots
develop-
fired.
Let's
Shots
develop.
Not a shot.
Listen, let's develop the youth. If
Gotta be
it's
accurate for
if
the
it's the
shot.
truth that Ancelotti is going to be the coach of the Italian national team, I'm sure Ancelotti is going to call.
Supposedly,
It's not, right? I don't
I
know.
don't know. It
Apparently-
goes back
Well,
and forth.
Yeah.
Listen, the bottom line is if I were asked to be the coach of the national team, what I would have done, I would have called all the coaches of the Serie A. I said, hey, guys, just step inside my office. I don't need your president. I don't need your vice president. I don't need anybody. Lock the door, and I would say to each and every one of them, I said, listen, just fish from your youth, and then just I wanted to see at least 3 or 4 players to be developed during the campionato. And I'm sure if each team, if 18 teams, they put 3 players or 4 players into the Serie A, I'm telling you, out of the 8 teams times 3 is what, 54?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Out of 54 players, I think 5 or 6 they're going to wind up just playing for the Italian
but you-
national
you
team
always-
at the
but-
highest level.
Oh, okay, if Antonio was the coach of the national team, would it be Gattuso assisted by Cassano, or would they be playing? Or
I would put
how-
Cassano. I would put Cassano as
the
a no. If listen, Cassano,
God, Mark, what you
he's
saw.
got a knowledge of the game that is second to no one. For Cassano, a game that is 200 miles an hour, for Cassano slows down to 0 miles an hour.
Zero.
You make him sound like Jesus over here.
Zero. Cassano.
Does he walk on water?
Cassano never looks down where the ball is. Cassano is always. Look at the way Cassano played this game. He never looks down at the ball. He always.
Who looks
looking
down at the
around.
ball?
Antonio Sano's like,
Okay.
does Cassano pay Antonio's rent or something that he keeps saying these nice things about him?
You guys, you wish you probably never saw Cassano playing. You're too young.
Of course I see Cassano
I seen it on
play.
YouTube a couple of times.
YouTube. Anyway, you just wish you had Cassano on your team.
Maybe.
I don't know if I wish I had Cassano on my team.
So let's
but-
move on to
Yeah, let's
the
move
to the
on.
next game.
The next game, Roma Chievo, pretty straightforward. Chic, he got on the score sheet, which I was very happy for. And Di Francesco, I mean, there's nothing really too much to say about the game. We all know what everybody's thinking about, which is this Wednesday against Barcelona. I mean, against Liverpool, if they could pull the redo of the Barcelona game and be able to come back. I love what Di Francesco said in his press conference after the match, where he said, my life motto, the thing I live by is I believe. He said, and the thing that you're going to see that I'll guarantee you is watch the attitude of the team that comes out and plays. That's the only thing you could really ask for.
Yeah.
You can't guarantee results, but you can guarantee that you're going to try and you're going to put everything on the pitch. And I think that
And
I
be
hope we
professional.
see I just want Roma to see Roma. Then afterwards, what happens with the score, we can't control. I want Roma to show up and be like, listen, we did not walk over these guys. Maybe that first leg was, something crazy happened. So that's what I really hope.
I hope Cassano goes to Trigoria this week. Listen, by the way, is the game Tuesday or Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday
What
game.
time? 2:40? 2:45? Oh boy!
2:45,
Oh
yeah.
boy!
Well, going back to Roma's point, I mean, I was surprised that he put a lot of the starters in.
He did the same thing last time, too. We
Yeah.
said it.
No,
I
it's
know.
not Zeko was not playing. He only came in for the last 20 minutes. Or if he did, maybe he didn't come in at all. Zeko didn't play the last
You're
game.
saying this game?
The week, no.
No,
weekend
when
before.
they play
Week
the
before.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Oh. One of them he did. One of them he
Yeah.
had him start.
So I mean, that was interesting that he played a lot of the stars. I mean, of course they have Champions League aspirations on the line, so he has to win these games even in Serie A. But I mean, of course, we were a little upset about the 5-2 thrashing. You say formation doesn't count. You do not put 3-man defense.
oh, yeah, you weren't
against
here to
three-
say your side.
Yeah,
Three strikers.
but Peter,
But
I get
yeah,
your point. now.
also, whereas Barcelona, why don't fix what is not broke. That's like the saying. So you had a spectacular performance versus Barcelona, 3-0. Why did you feel that you have to fix something? So I was a little upset with that. Hopefully, we've seen Schick, Dzeko together versus Barca. Maybe the same thing versus Liverpool. Even though Liverpool's defenders are maybe more physical and in the air, they're a lot better than Barcelona.
At the end too,
But
so.
at the end of the day, the 5-2 is a lot better than 5-0. So there's a chance. Three goals is a possibility.
And you gotta believe.
You score one early and it's on.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
I think.
Listen, Roma's got players that are second to no one. I'm telling, hey, the list is big. You got Nainggolan, you got Dzeko, you got the goalkeeper.
Come on, who else they got?
What about
Who else they got? Grande Aldo!
Oh, yeah, these Manolas, I don't know.
That's what I was gonna say. We were saying that they played all their starters. Manolas wasn't in.
Yeah, wrestling, the champ, wrestling the champ for Wednesday.
It was
Florenzi, Perotti, you got players over the top level.
Let's
so,
see if Perotti comes in because he did an incredible job when he came in against Liverpool. He's one of the only ones who really created.
I like Perotti.
So it's going to be exciting to see what they could do. Also, Lazio, another kind of boring one. Torino-Lazio. Immobile went out early.
Yeah, he pulled something, right?
They say that Immobile right
He's
now
done. He's
might
done.
be done for the season. We'll see. And Lazio were able to Milinkovic-Savic. They put the ball in the back of the net, and Torino lost the match 1-0. I know you were probably hoping that.
I was hoping for Torino win, but at least a tie, and then it just they
Mazzarri
scored.
Mazzarri couldn't do anything.
The score, and
I was hoping for them too. I want Inter to go into the Champions League.
Listen,
that's where I'm.
As an Inter fan, you want Inter to go in the Champions League. I don't want to say, Inter, Milan should be in the Champions League. No, whoever plays deserves to be in the Champions League. Whoever gets those points deserves to be in the Champions League. I just hope that, Lazio spends some money. You get, the Champions League, you get 30 million.
Whoever goes in.
And represent the country well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's upsetting because, it's like the second slap in the face. You lose versus Juventus, Lazio wins. Now it's +4. Yeah. Lazio, you were hoping that you had the last game in your hands. That you have your future in your hands. Win that game versus Lazio, you go to Champions League.
Exactly.
Now it's not in place right now. Now you got to hope that they slip up one of these last 3 games.
I have to give a lot of credit to Inzaghi because they got slapped around for the second half of there with Strasbourg. They took 3 goals or 4 goals in 5 minutes over there, and then they comes back, they regroup. I guess he knew what to say to the players. Those players, they looked unaffected. No one looked like depressed or down in morale.
No.
They came in, they came back to the Sunday. They played, they kept winning. And if I gotta tell you something, what my feeling is, I think Lazio is gonna end on top of Roma at the end of the day.
I don't think so. I don't know. I want to see how
That's gonna be a tough one.
I want to
That's
see
gonna
how
be a tough
they
one.
deal with Immobile not being there if he's not going to be there. I don't
Listen,
remember
if
when
Immobile is
hasn't
not
been
there, you know how many players Lazio's got?
No, I'm just saying how they deal with
They
it.
still have
the
the
entire
I get what you're
season.
saying.
He's
They
got
still have-
Felipe Anderson. He's got a lot
They
of
got Caicedo.
But you
Yeah.
just got to hope they don't sell.
Listen,
like
Savic,
Udinese.
Savic, I
Yeah,
don't see
exactly.
Savic is not going to stay in Lazio. I think Juventus might take that.
Well, listen,
It
if
depends
they can-
where they end up.
if Savic goes and he goes for big money, it could be good because you just have to you can
But he's gotta
buy
stay in our
some
league.
players.
Get a good
There's
replacement.
stupid
I don't
reports.
think he's gonna go.
There was a thing
stay
from
here.
England today, which I thought was hilarious.
Mourinho probably
Which-
wants Savic, right?
No. It's not that. They were saying that Tottenham wants Immobile plus Savic for 100 million.
Get out of
I
here.
don't know what the hell these
They can't
guys
even
Why
buy-
not?
For what?
They can't even buy his boots for 100 million.
Harry Kane is
Yeah.
out. He's
No,
on his
no,
way
I don't
out?
know. I don't know.
That would be the only reason.
But they were just saying this, and I thought it was funny because what other striker Immobile is doing exactly what Salah does in England and in a tough league. You would never say that Salah is worth less than 100 million. Well, for Immobile, you would. And goals are goals.
But
so-
Marco, what makes you think that Immobile is going to do well on the English Premier
no,
League?
I'm not saying. I'm just.
Look what happened. He played on the Bundesliga. He played on the Bundesliga. He didn't do that great. That's why he came back.
I just brought it up. Just
He's saying
Ah.
to compare.
So you know.
Yeah.
Could it be another?
I want Mourinho to
like
take Immobile.
Is a fluke
Or
year?
Savic.
Is it a fluke year? Immobile. I mean, he scored in the past, whatever. But
I don't know.
Nah,
You're saying like a
look
Belotti
at
year?
Belotti.
That's the
Oh.
Who knows? At the end of the day, we can only judge on what's right now
Oh, yeah.
and what happens. One other thing, I mean, the relegation battle for as interesting as the Scudetto battle is,
That's
the
on
relegation
fire.
battle today with Benevento. I left the house 2-1. Benevento were up. I came to the studio a few blocks away. It was 3-3 the match. I couldn't believe how insane the battle at the bottom. We know Udinese sacked Oddo, you know, right? And they got Tudor now. But also Cagliari. Cagliari's a team that I never even thought. I mean, I knew they were close to relegation, but I didn't think Cagliari's going to go down.
You think they're comfortably
Now,
mid-table or
Cagliari,
something?
they lost 4-1 to Sampdoria. Their last 3 games, they're 2 points from relegation. Their last 3 games, Roma, Fiorentina, and Atalanta.
Oof.
That
It's
is
looking
risking
tough for them.
big time. We already know also congratulations to Empoli, who are already up in the Serie A next season.
Wait, and Livorno that's going to Serie B.
And Lecce.
And
that's going to Serie
Lecce,
B.
that's right.
But credit to Empoli, who are in the Serie A. They had a fantastic season. A lot of those players are good players. And I think they just bounced back, right? Didn't they come last season? They bounced back in 1 year.
Yep.
So credit to Empoli.
And let's hope that Bari comes into Serie A too. Maybe Cassano's going to join his whole team.
Empoli was a team that switched with Crotone that made the last gasp comeback right there. So they're coming back for revenge. staying in
Exactly.
the
Hey,
Serie
listen,
A.
Crotone too. What was the score today? 4-1?
Hey,
Crotone's doing good, though.
Crotone
I
actually
can actually
out of
see them
relegation
staying.
zone by
They're
3
gonna do
3
it
points.
again.
They're up 3 points.
Yeah.
What's shocking is Chievo, which is usually a mid-level team, 12th place. They're actually in the relegation.
That's right.
They're actually the 3rd place team, right?
18th, I
They
think.
just
They're
sacked
18th.
Maran.
to go
They
down.
sacked Maran.
Which is
The 2 Verona teams could be
crazy.
going down this
Yeah.
season. So
so we'll
I
still
mean,
have the
yeah,
deadbeat.
Elis Verona. I mean, Benevento, we know we lost.
automatically they're going down.
I
Yeah.
think maybe Elis Verona, but now with Cagliari, with Kiev, with all these teams, I don't know who's gonna go down.
Gonna be a
It's gonna
tough
be
one.
very interesting.
Well, I think Hellas Verona's out.
Yeah,
That's
I think
true.
so.
Okay, have the next
I
one.
think
now.
next game is
the
done.
third team's going.
I want Spal to stay up. They have a rich history. I mean, back
Yeah,
in the 60s.
I remember that.
The
Who would you like to
60s,
go
Spal
down?
was out. Who would I like to go down? I mean,
Yeah, I know.
I like Spal to go down because we are from the south of here. We want to keep
You
all
know
the
what?
Benevento, the Crotone, and everybody else.
yeah, let's keep the South of there, right?
Yeah, let's keep
feel
the
like
south. The south comes up and the north
North
comes
goes
I don't
down.
know.
I feel like Cagliari might do it. I mean, might go down.
I would hate to see Chievo go down.
Just
Yeah.
because
Because
they've been there
in
so
Serie
long.
A for a while. They've been a top, mid-level team, and they always had some good players.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna.
But I mean, who I think will be the 3rd team, and my friend is gonna hate me for this. I think
Ooh.
Cagliari
Yeah.
is gonna go down. The way they've been playing is just
those
terrible.
last 3 games.
But I mean, it just depends. If all you need in that, when you're in the relegation zone, it all depends on that win, because a tie doesn't do you justice. If you
Exactly.
win,
That's
it
huge.
shoots you
Yeah,
right
exactly.
up. And
You
look at
swap places.
Crotone with that win. They're at 34 points.
Who was disappointed the most? Just looking back a little bit, who was disappointed the
teams?
most? The teams.
Torino, I feel like. They
No,
keep doing the same thing every
I
year.
would
They
say
keep
for the
messing up.
amount of money spent, AC Milan has been
Yeah.
a little bit
Okay, them
disappointing.
too. Yeah, that was an obvious though.
Inter Milan too. They we are.
They're not that disappointed.
They're not disappointed,
for-
but they should be fighting for the
Champions
Champions
League.
League. I mean,
Yeah.
we are.
They are fighting for the Champions League.
Yeah, it's hard. They're holding on. They're holding on.
It's still at the end, and they are. We got some questions in. Let's not take too long. Not long answers. Adam Durrani says, "What's been missing from Napoli this whole season? They went on to go win the Scudetto, but it seems like they can't manage to do it." Antonio, quick.
I think psychologically the team it's not prepared, and I think they have a short bench, and that's really gonna it's gonna pay very bad for them. It's just not good not to have a deep bench and somebody ready to take over when one of those Insigne or Mertens or one of those top players that you're relying on winning you the game. If they're not on top of there, look what Juventus has. Juventus can just interchange players at any time, and those people they come through all the time. I think that's the major mistake that Napoli should have invest more money. So the Laurentiis, they have to spend.
Yep.
They cannot just hope and just sit back over there and just hoping that something by magic is going to happen all the time for them. So you're going to have to take the money out of your pocket and put it on the table. That's it.
Yeah, depth.
Just to clarify, a lot of these questions have already been answered in the podcast. So if we didn't get to it right here, it was answered already. Someone said, do you think that there's any hope for another team to win the season next year? Because it seems like Napoli next year is not going to be the same Napoli as it is this year. What do you think? What do you guys think about
I
that?
do feel like there's gonna be a few people that are gonna leave Napoli, and maybe even
They say, who do you think is going to be that,
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Who's gonna be the one actually competing?
Contender.
That's a tough one.
I
thought
see
about
it.
this. I
Maybe-
thought about this.
I
today.
see no Roma,
Yeah,
Roma,
I see
Inter.
Roma.
Inter,
I see
Milan,
Milan.
Lazio. That's the usual. The usual
Lazio,
5 or
no,
6.
Lazio's
Milan.
gonna drop a
Maybe
little
not
Let
bit.
me tell you
Lazio.
something.
Milan.
Of course. Milan, yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that
Was
pause.
Cassano going to come in and play?
I don't know. I don't know. I'll take him.
You know Cassano's an Inter fan, do you?
Yeah, I know, but he played for AC Milan too.
Oh.
I know that Cassano grew up as an Inter fan. It's true.
No,
Everybody
he
commented
still is
about
an
you.
Inter
Yeah.
fan.
So, but I
He
don't
didn't
know.
grow up as one. He's still an Inter fan. You know who else?
Who?
Pirlo.
Oh,
Grew up
wow.
as an Inter fan in his book. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
but
guy's
you
a fan
see,
of every team.
okay,
I
but
have
Peter,
100
Peter.
clubs.
So all these geniuses are Inter fan. I'm telling you. What's going on?
Wait, being an Inter fan and Inter being this smart team, how can you let them go? Pirlo, he went out away from Inter to make AC Milan one of the best
Seedorf.
teams. Seedorf, Cassano now, come
Shouldn't
on.
have told me
Cassano
Manolas is
Gallo.
an
That
Inter fan.
means-
Let's not get crazy over here, Peter.
So to piggyback off that, someone said, what do the teams like Roma, Milan, Inter, and Napoli have to do to beat this Juventus?
Juventus,
What's the thing that they need to change?
I'll tell you something about Juventus. Juventus cycle, it's coming to an end. This is the end of Juventus as we speak right now.
When's the last season?
I'm telling you, Juventus is not going to be winning for the next 10 years.
When though?
Because
When?
I'm telling you,
What do you
please,
think?
you
10
listen to
years.
me. You listen to me because all the Vecchia Guardia is gone. The only one is going to be remaining over there is going to be Chiellini.
I think we're gonna see
Buffon
huge
is going to go.
changes.
Barzagli is going to go. A lot of players they're going to go. The coach is going to go because if the coach doesn't go, Dybala is going to go.
Oh
so
my
starting to
God.
replace
Spring
all of those
cleaning.
people.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So Juventus is not going to have it the way he had it for the last 10 years. I see Napoli maybe again.
You didn't focus
Roma.
on the question.
What?
What do they have to do?
Yeah, what do they have to do?
Juventus?
No, not
No.
Juventus, the other
Other
team.
team.
Oh, they have to take away the players that Juventus want to snatch away from them. Or don't sell the players to Juventus
We'll-
because
we'll sell Dybala to
Juventus
Milan.
is going to put what?
We'll give you.
Dybala? I'll take
We'll
him.
give him.
Oh, I'll take him. Definitely.
give us Kalinic.
No, listen to me. You're gonna get Milinkovic Savic from Napoli. Don't worry about it. It's yours
I'm
already.
kidding.
And you're gonna get Donnarumma from us.
Do you guys see Allegri and Sarri leaving at the end of the season?
I
Both
see
of them.
Allegri 100% gone.
I see both
I
of
can
them.
see Sarri.
I
I
can
can
see both
see
of them.
Allegri. I think
Sarri.
Allegri's staying.
Oh, I
Allegri's
disagree.
out.
I see more
Allegri's
Great
out.
minds,
What do you
Peter.
say?
Don't listen to
Allegri
these
out.
guys.
No, what about Sarri?
Sorry.
He's gonna stay. I don't think he's a coach of
I
a
think
big.
he might leave.
I think
I think he might be done.
you know what I think, because he had a little friction with De Laurentiis. I think he's gonna straight up sell De Laurentiis. Either buy me these players,
Or he's gonna get out.
Like a Conte
I'm
type
out.
thing in
Yeah.
2011.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I think the same
I
thing.
really have a feeling, and I think it's time for Allegri and Juve to move on. To be
The
honest, I
cycle
think it's
is
time for
over.
something
He
new.
knows. He knows already.
And I think that Sarri, same thing. I just have a feeling that Sarri might be leaving Napoli. Not that I want to see it. I love his football. I hope it stays in the Serie A, but I have a feeling it might happen.
You know why Allegri's leaving? I'm telling you the reasons now. Right now. It's on
You
the
said it
table.
19 times
No.
on the podcast.
I'll tell you what. If Allegri was not going to leave, he would have been forced to play Dybala and Marquisio all the time. The reasons why he's punishing them is because he knows that this is the last year.
He's out of here,
No,
right?
He's out of
Well, I
here.
think we should answer the question
done.
as far as
Yeah.
like what do they need. I think Inter. I'll go off with Inter.
Yeah.
We need some. We need a left back.
And you need a coach.
No, come on. Spalletti.
No, Spalletti's gonna be good.
Center back like De Vrij. That's
Yeah,
most
might
likely
be.
gonna happen.
So we're already looking at De Vrij and Asamoah, which are free transfers. Yeah, now
A
we can
winger.
maybe a big spending in the
On
midfield. No, we need like a regista. That's what Inter
Yeah,
needs.
you do not have
Brozovic, but surprised me. He's really playing well, but he's been.
It's up and down, up and down. It's,
So even though the last string of games he's played great as a regista in that role, you put Gagliardini next to him. I would love to see bring an Italian back, Verratti. I would love to see Verratti on Inter.
You're gonna have to sell the whole club for Verratti.
No. Those Chinese Zhang, they got money.
Listen to me. I have to be honest with you. I was very big on Verratti, and I liked his style of play. But after I seen him playing on the World Cup,
I'm with you.
and
Yeah,
I
I agree
see
on
him
that.
and Insigne and all
fell,
of those,
he
Maybe he needs a revival.
and all of those,
He's-
you know.
he's still good.
I
He's
know,
still good,
I know.
and
But
he'll play.
Verratti, it's not Pirlo.
He's not the champion that I thought he was.
It's not. Yeah, me
I
too.
thought he was a
I am a
champion.
little bit skeptical about
Peter,
him.
how much would you spend the most?
I
to
will
get
not
Verratti?
spend that much. I don't think. I think
Not more
Verratti
than what?
stocks went down.
Not
How much?
more than
How
what?
much is he worth?
I think Verratti no more than
50 mil.
30, 40 million is too
No,
much.
he's
You
34.
can buy Italians
You
for
cannot
30
buy
million.
30, 40 million. This
No.
market, you're not going to get
You need
30,
like
40
a
million.
nice 60 million.
What would be what I hope is, you know, it could work out in Inter's favor that Italy's not in the World Cup, because what happens is whoever's in the World Cup, if they have a good World Cup, price value goes up. So
That's
hopefully
true.
the PSG, the Real Madrid's out there, they see some player, then they spend big money. PSG
And they'll let-
maybe
they'll
wants
let
to let
some
go
of those
somebody
guys, yeah.
for a lower amount.
That's a
You
good
never
way
know.
to see it. That's a
No,
good way
but
to see
We're
it.
getting too close to this,
Yeah.
son. I mean, the Serie A is the only thing keeping us sane over here. When I don't even know what the World Cup is.
You know what good players do? They consistently play well every time that they are on the field.
That's the
And to me,
There's
Verratti,
no player that consistently every single
Insigne,
game does.
Belotti, and
Even Messi doesn't play good every game.
I don't agree with
Oh,
that.
no,
Marco.
no,
I don't
no,
think-
no.
I
Messi
don't
didn't play
agree
good
with
against
that.
Barcelona.
I don't agree
Messi
with-
didn't play good against Juventus
Not-
last
not
season.
every game.
Messi
Even when
didn't play good
Messi
against
does,
Inter.
listen to me.
Only
Even,
Cassano is on
even
there.
when Messi doesn't play good, he still leaves quantity and quality on the field. Believe me.
But not every game he doesn't play good. There's not one
we
player.
got a funny question. They said if Cassano was playing for Napoli, would they be up? Would they be still down by 4 points? What would be the points now?
Napoli would be leading by 10.
10 points.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
Yeah, you do not have people that non sono rifinitori.
What
In
does that
Napoli,
translate?
is just the speed of the game and the scheme that Sarri put in place. Cassano is one of the few, I'm telling you right now, and not because I'm saying, that can put anybody on the condition to go one-on-one with
He
the
easily
goalkeeper.
gets 10 assists a season.
More than that, baby.
I saw it easily.
Easily. More than that.
Okay. That's okay.
And those
10,
are-
10 points is a lot, though.
No, 10.
Wow.
A lot.
Yeah, Lorenzo can be rubbing his hands, laughing at Higuain for leaving, right? We got Cassano. We don't need you.
If you had a Cassano even on the bench, that would be a luxury. A luxury.
Call him on
You
Skype.
needed to win the game.
Actually, you know what? I would see.
Let me tell you.
I would see
Cassano's the
Cassano.
bench.
I would see Cassano on Napoli in Sarri's system.
Bro, he
Will
can't
work
even
well.
play at Ellis
Are you
Verona.
kidding me?
It's because
What
he
you
can't
talking
play at
about?
Ellis
He's not going to
Verona.
lower himself to play for Hellas Verona.
He can't play for
Get out of
Hellas
He
here.
doesn't want
Verona.
his kids then to go to a relegation battle with Verona. Get out of
Another good question we had is, guys, do you think if Napoli really tried and concentrated, how would they have done in the Champions League this season? He says get to the Champions League final, but what do you think about? I cut that out just
I
to
don't
keep
know
it a
about
little bit
that.
more directed. You see, look now he
I
already
think
thinks.
they'll, I think they'll do fairly well. I think quarters would be a good run for them. Quarters.
I would say,
Quarters,
listen,
yeah.
if Napoli he lost a game very poorly on the Champions. They lost
They don't
very poorly
care.
against
They
a
didn't
team
care.
against a team that it was not a really a top team. The same way,
Shakhtar.
so what was Shakhtar?
I don't
Who's
think-
Shakhtar?
Try,
I don't think we're gonna be
Antonio.
seeing
The
Napoli
same way
do-
Lazio lost against Strasbourg.
Yeah.
Those are teams that nobody ever heard.
Hey, this is your Red Bull over here, Red Bull Salzburg.
Oh, worry.
Yeah,
More
look,
than that.
yeah,
Throw that in the
Listen,
trash.
Lazio could have been still fighting right now for the
final.
Yeah.
Go to the final.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean,
They
I
got-
think Napoli, they have a great team. Just when you reach a certain level in Champions League, you can come across some top teams.
Exactly,
Where
it
they have
depends.
the same
That's
formation,
true.
same depth as Juventus. So in a 2-game leg, you're able to change certain players. And if Napoli's players don't have the experience, the same way Real Madrid has experience, Bayern Munich has experience. Even to a certain extent, Roma has some players with that experience.
true.
So I don't know how far they would go, but I think they would definitely entertain the Champions League world because I think Europe likes to see that beautiful football, and Napoli definitely plays beautiful football.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there is one thing that I really wanted to say because this is that's
about Cassano?
what's critical about Napoli. Napoli game was very fluid in the very beginning
Yeah.
of the season until the half of the campionato. It was everybody was like by memory. Pop, 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 pop,
They
pop,
got
pop, pop,
tired,
everybody. Then the top coaches on the Serie A, they started to watch the tapes and they said, oh, okay, those guys, if you let them play, they're going to really give it to you. So all they're starting to do, they're starting to press them and they just attack them where they had the ball. Because if Napoli, you don't press them when they have the ball, they can really kill you.
But
if you're starting to see the games of AC Milan against Napoli, or Juventus against Napoli, or Inter against Napoli, all of those teams, they have given Napoli hard time. Spal against Napoli, even the little teams, they understood that Napoli cannot be made. You don't make Napoli thinking with the ball. You have to just go on them all the time. If you make them think, they're gonna kill you. Okay, because their system is very good.
But going
system.
based on fluidity, I think, like Mike said, they were tired.
They're tired too.
Listen, they
That too.
Fatigue every
because
week.
the same players always playing. Then we have to remember last year they got in third place, so they had to qualify for Champions League. I went to one of the games in São Paulo.
Unbelievable, right?
The way they play, it's great to watch live. But they already started their preparation early, mid-July to prepare for the Champions League. So they're actually playing an extra month than everybody else than Juventus. And Juventus has 25 players at the disposal. Like
Did Sarri? I thought about him. So he hasn't signed the contract yet, the extension for Napoli, did he?
No, that I don't know.
There is no more talks. You see, before, up the last few weeks.
It's not the time.
No,
It's
wait,
not
wait,
the
wait, wait,
time.
but-
The Scudetto's still up.
Wait, Marco. If you look at the media is being played by the big guns over there, the Laurentiis. I'm telling you, the media has been played by those guys. If the media is no longer bringing on the table the fact that maybe Sarri, we are working with him, we are open 24/7 to
They have
discussion.
so much content to do with everything that's happening
He
in the
has
league.
he has to do with people. Maybe they have made the decision that they're not really favorable to what the tifosi wanted to hear and all the stuff. That's why I think they just downplaying all of this. He's staying or he's leaving. That's what I think. This
It's
discussion
still
is coming
going
to
on.
an
I
end.
think, like Marco said, they don't want to put anything else in perspective.
Yeah.
It's just the Scudetto. That's the goal.
It wouldn't be professional to be talking about
But
anything
I
else.
think also Napoli fans don't care at this
Yeah, who
point.
cares?
They just want the Scudetto, unfortunately.
Listen, that's what I'm gonna say. I think that this year is a very dangerous year for Napoli. As beautiful as everything is, to me, it's all or nothing. If it doesn't happen this year, if it doesn't happen in the next 3 games, I don't know when the next time the Napoli is going to be as close to as right now, and I don't see this team being as strong as it is this season as it will be next season.
I can see that.
To me,
Yeah.
the foundation, not that it's cracked, but that it's on a little bit of thin ice where it needs to connect now.
The thing is-
They said a lot of these players, we always talk about Serie A players leaving the league, right? And they say Mertens had this offer, Koulibaly had this
Exactly.
offer, Jorginho has these offers, right? And they said, listen, let's stay together because this year we have to do this and we have to win this year. They had the Scudetto pact.
Yeah, that's what
And
it
I think
was.
that if this year they don't do it, it's going to not be that Napoli that you're talking about next season.
But the thing is, Sarri kept the glue together. Like Marco said, the whole team could have been stripped, but it was a Scudetto package. Like,
They have
let's
to
do
do it this
something
year.
incredible. It's now or never.
But
We
that's
can
not
do
how
it.
that's not how it should
I know.
work.
It shouldn't
That's
work
how
like
it
that.
should work.
It was built on a very short-term thing to win the Scudetto once and give the fans something to cheer for, and that's what it was.
Mikey, didn't we have this discussion already that nobody plays for the shirt anymore? The vast majority of those players, all mercenary, they're gonna play for the money.
I think
and it comes to the
Jorginho's
end of the
agent
season.
said even this week, now they got to be careful because Manchester City or Manchester United.
Manchester
Yeah, but
City.
agents always try to.
But yeah.
Yeah, but now is not
Like
the
that.
time either.
Yeah, you can't say
You
that.
shouldn't talk. We have a few other questions about Milan. Milan losing stars this summer because of what happened. The hell is that?
That's
a
the
crazy
heating,
noise over
That's the
here.
heating system.
Sounds like Sarri's trying to find a hiding place or something.
Gattuso he's beating up Kalinic
So
over
what
there.
about Milan?
They said Milan losing their stars because of the financial fair play.
Which stars? How many stars we have?
You guys don't have
Oh, we have Kalinic. You can go.
Donnarumma.
Oh,
Yo, Gattuso's trying to break down this door.
It's a
What
mad
the hell is this?
Donnarumma. I might go.
That's
Listen,
a jackhammer.
Donnarumma, Bonucci, I'm not gonna say Cutrone, Bonucci, and I think Donnarumma are the 2 guys that they're talking about.
No,
because without Champions League.
Donnarumma, I see a Real Madrid or a big team. And if I were Donnarumma, to be honest with you, I would have gone. I would have
Really?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, because listen. Number one. You had a lot of trouble with during the signing of the contract.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, the pressure for a goalkeeper of that age to be playing with people like Cristiano Ronaldo or you name it, or Messi or Neymar or Verratti, even though Verratti is not what we think he is. So the pressure is there, and I'm sure a lot of people the surrounding his family, they're telling him, I said, hey, you're never going to be able to have a chance like that. So now is the time that you have to make the move. Don't worry about what the player of AC Milan or the people or La Società is going to tell you. Just go. If I were Donnarumma, I would have gone. I mean, as much as I love AC Milan, but
Imagine Mino Raiola pull some crazy stuff and he's like, I'm going
Mino
to Napoli. I'm
Raiola.
gonna win it with my city.
this got nothing to do. I mean, Mino Raiola.
Napoli would have to sell a lot.
He's a leech. Mino Raiola is a leech, so he's a bad guy. But as a player, I mean, if you're really aspiring to be playing with some of those champions, I think it's a very exciting idea. Somebody's calling you from Real Madrid. Would you say no to Real Madrid?
I think that this season, like I said with Napoli, how it's dangerous. I think even for Milan, it's dangerous this summer.
I would prefer AC Milan sending Donnarumma to Juventus as much as I hate Juventus and see Donnarumma playing in Italy and not just making Real Madrid stronger than what they actually are. You know what I mean? That will piss me off.
It would.
You would get pissed off more that Donnarumma goes to Real Madrid than Donnarumma going to Juventus. Is
To
that what you're
Juventus,
saying?
I will go be pissed off if he goes to Real Madrid.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It would suck to lose the greatest.
I'd rather
prospect.
stay in Italy.
I don't
greatest
want
prospect
Italian.
we have
I don't
in
want
Serie A.
great Italian players to leave Italy to go play on another and make
Like Verratti,
Bring him
Verratti
to
going.
Inter.
We never.
I mean, Inter now. Inter
You'd
now.
rather go to Juventus than Inter?
You know, Juventus needs to rebuild right now. Juventus, they're not going to be winning for a long time. So let them.
I'm trying to help
Let him
out over
learn.
here.
What a nice guy you are. Can you give us Gattuso too?
No, well, Gattuso will keep him for a little while.
All right, guys. Nice long podcast today. I think we got most of what we wanted to say in. Anybody else had anything else to add?
I think we're good. What do you guys think?
Who won the Liga? Barcelona won the Liga already so
Yeah,
far.
Yeah,
And
that,
who
that
else?
was done before.
Who else won?
That's it.
PSG won.
PSG won.
They've been
Long
Before
time
it
ago.
started.
In
It
Germany,
won.
it's over too.
Yeah.
That's been over. Germany's
In
been
England,
over.
it's over too.
It's
So we
it's
are the most
over.
exciting campionato. Guys, keep
Yeah.
watching us and don't forget to rate the podcast, okay?
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go.
5 stars.
5 stars.
And,
All right, guys. As always, thank you for watching. And yeah, rate the podcast.
Yep.
Ciao, ragazzi.
Ciao, guys.
Out.
Beautiful. I got this, Mike.